Good morning, everyone. I want to start off by just saying thank you to everyone for joining us today on this webinar. We got the privilege of having Tim Swoboda with SILAC on with us today. He's going to go through kind of an overview of SILAC's products. And then we've also got a nice little giveaway we're going to do at the end, show you guys a nice annual review kit that SILAC's put together that we'll be sharing with you guys as well. So really excited to have you, Tim, with us. Thank you for joining us. And again, thank you all of you for taking time out of your day. I know you all are busy. So I'm going to go through a few intro slides. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Laura Johnson. I apologize for my voice. We got 14 inches of snow here in Omaha, and I'm a little froggy and under the weather. So bear with me on that. But I've been here with Ims a total of about 13 years now. Worked in the admin side for about 8 years. Been on the marketing side now for about 5. So half my life spent here at this company. So, um, but anytime you need help with annuities, give myself, someone on my team a call. I'm one of the assistant vice presidents here at Ims, lead one of the teams here on the annuity side. So give me a shout. I'll get you over to someone, myself or anyone on my team will be happy to help you. So we're just going to go through a couple programs real quick. Just tell you a little bit for those of you who don't know, aren't familiar with IMS, maybe a few of the incentive programs you've got available for you. Um, and I'm going to show you my screen now. Sorry about that. You guys all should be able to see my screen now. Go through a few of these programs with you. So if you're new to IMS, haven't been with IMS before, or considering maybe joining us, this would be some programs we've got available for you. When you first come to IMS, you got what we call our new producer bonus available for you. And you've got 180 days to qualify for this bonus. So with those first pieces of business you write with IMS, really our goal is to help you with some marketing and say thanks for the business, and then turn around and hopefully generate more for you. So as you can see, we've got 5 different tiers. All indexed annuity premium counts toward this. MIGA business counts for half points. Single premium life would count for it as well. So life target premium, we will as a ratio toward this as well. So just a great way with your life annuity business right out the gate to get some assistance from us. So as you can see, there's 5 different levels and a lot of great things. Anything from social media campaigns to free leads to a travel package to website building. Some really great options here. So again, you have 180 days to qualify from the day you get contracted with IMS. Once you do cash out your new producer bonus, we do move you into a marketing reimbursement program. So that's the second part of the bottom part of the slide we'll talk about first. So basically, for all the business you write here at IMS, you're going to be earning marketing dollars. So once you cash out new producer bonus, you move over to marketing reimbursement. So for every 100,000 of indexed annuity premium, you get $100. Every 100,000 of SPL, single premium life, would be equivalent to $200. And every 10,000 of life target premium would be $200 as well. So really the goal here is that as you're writing business here at IMS, you're constantly earning dollars and money to assist with your marketing. So really we want to partner with you. Our goal here is if we can um, help you increase revenue and increase your business, grow your business, then we're growing ours as well. It makes it a mutually beneficial relationship for both. One other program we do have available, sometimes people want to refer. If you've been in the business anytime, referrals are important to you. They're important to us as well. That's how we grow as well. So if you got someone who, might benefit from our services, or, if you've been pleased with what you've had here at IMS and want to refer someone over, but maybe don't. Tim, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, someone just had mentioned there was no sound. Turn your volume up, please. Just want to make sure someone typed in that there was no sound. So hopefully they can get that figured out. So referred producer program though, um, if you don't want to take on the responsibility of maybe a hierarchy and have the liability of other agents, we can put them in as a referral from you. What happens then is you get $50. Um, $50 when the agent gets contracted, $100 when they write their first piece of business, and then as you can see the breakout there, you're going to be earning money on all the business they write thereafter. So great opportunity to just for us to put some money back in your pocket and say thank you for the referral. I will mention for the marketing reimbursement, you submit receipts to us, we reimburse that on a daily basis. Referred producer program, those checks do go out quarterly. Here at Ims, it's part of our name insurance agency marketing service. And that's what we're trying to be number one at. We're not trying to be your biggest FMO out there. We want to be number one when it comes to serving you. That means helping with A to Z. That's from case design to marketing to Amber and her team and the new business team following up on business to escalating issues to help work with the carriers to get problems resolved. You know, if we can take that stuff off your plate, that keeps you in the field doing what you do best. We are excited to have Firelight on our website. Bear with me just a second here. I'm going to take a drink. Little froggy today. So we do have Firelight on our website. Really excited about this. It's a great opportunity to have one sign in through our website and be able to do life, annuity, and Medicare apps in one spot. Instead of having to log on to every individual website to complete an application, you got a one-stop shop on our website. So with Firelight, I'm going to go to the next slide. You can see all the carriers that are up on Firelight. We need to change Equitable's name to say SILAC. I'll fix that, Tim, by next month. But really, majority of the carriers are on there. The few that aren't are working on getting it added, so we should have them all up there, you know, end of first quarter. So really excited though for this. The nice thing about it is when you submit it through our website, it actually comes to us first so we can help scrub it, make sure it's in good order, and get it sent to the home office. It is also nice because we can actually see where you're at in the process. So if you get stuck, can't get something to go, or you're at 99%, can't figure out what you did wrong, you know, Amber and her team do have access to log in, kind of see where you're at and assist with that. So if you have any questions on getting set up on Firelight on our website, give me a call. I'll kind of walk through some stuff on the website here in a minute, and that might clear up some of that. If you haven't worked with our creative department, you know, they're here to serve you. A to Z, pretty much what they can do as far as turnkey solutions. You know, you're looking to maybe build an agency and you need a logo, you need business cards. We can do all that design work here in-house. You know, if you're looking to do stuff on the digital front, email marketing, newsletters, social media campaigns, you know, digital marketing, anything, we have the people here in-house to handle that for you. I don't know if you've ever hired a freelancer, but they're not cheap. So knowing that you can use either your marketing dollars or, like I tell agents, if you're doing your business here at Ims, you know, these services aren't free, but if you're doing your business here at Ims, they just kind of come with the deal. So really nice opportunity though to just have our team working on it, make everything branded for you. A lot of the white papers we put out, marketing we put out, we can customize that with your name, your logo, things like that. So if you have a marketing thing you're wanting to do or looking to do, give your marketer at Ims a call, talk with them about it. They'll get you connected with the right person in creative. If you haven't been out to our website, you can see it on the screen, www.imsinc.com. A lot of great things. I'm not going to go through the whole website, but I will mention a couple things. You've got access to Annuity Rate Watch on here. You've got access to term quoting. Like I mentioned, we've got an eApp Solutions tab now on the website where you can access Firelight, iGo eApp, and Connect for Medicare. So life, annuity, Medicare apps all can be done on our website. One of my favorite things on the website probably is our sales resource library. It's a full library of things that will help all of you in the field every day, from fact finders to client presentations to financial calculators. You know, you got someone working, or you got an estate case you're working on or estate planning. They've actually got a fact finder specifically for that. You got a client who says, what's a fixed indexed annuity? There's a client presentation that's 10 pages on everything you need to know about an indexed annuity. What's a cap? What's a spread? They break it down in there. And those all are customizable too. So if you find one you would like to kind of get branded with your information, we can do that as well. So if you ever want a quick tour of the website, give myself, anyone here at Ims a call. They'd be happy to walk you through. One last thing I'm going to mention before I hand it over to Tim is Ims Wealth Management. Several years ago now, when DOL was looming over our heads, Stephen Charles said it's time, and we formed an RIA. So Charles Jr. and his team do a great job over on that side, helping agents and their clients as far as the fee-based stuff. So if you got your 65, 66, your CFP, you can get registered over there. We really built our RIA with the insurance agent in mind. A lot of the agents who are on our platform and doing business with us on that front, went out and got their 65 and have realized that that's a very important part of the business as well. Being able to be a financial advisor who can handle everything. You go into a household and clients got 500,000 and only 300 suitable for an annuity. What are you doing with that other 200,000? Because if you're not doing something, someone else is. So we are really excited. We just brought on Zach Rieg over there, and he handles the client portion. So even if you're studying for your exam, or maybe you just don't want to get your security license, but you don't want to risk losing that client to another advisor, if you want, you can refer those clients up to Zach and our team on the wealth management side, and they will handle those clients for you so that you don't have to risk losing it to another advisor. So really great things. If you have questions about the platform, we got a lot of different money managers, a lot of different options available over there. Give Charles Jr., Duncan, Zach, Mike Hansen, Joan, any of them a call. They'd be happy to answer your questions. Someone did type in a question, how can I make contact with someone for digital solutions? Just give your marketer at Ims a call, let them know kind of what you're looking to do, and they'll get you connected with Jacob over on the creative side. He'd probably be the best person to handle a lot of the digital stuff. And with that, I don't have a slide on it yet, but I will tell you we did just announce our trip for 2022. We'll have a slide up on it in coming weeks, but we did announce that we're going to be doing a Mediterranean cruise in 2022. I think the trip goes August 28th through September 4th. It's like 6 different ports between Rome and Italy and Croatia and a lot of great spots. Qualification is 4.5 million to get you and a guest on that cruise. It started in January of this year and runs through June 30th of next year, and then the trip will follow in August. So we are very excited about that. And so we'll have further details to come on that, but it's the beginning of qualification period, so you got plenty of time to qualify. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Tim. Tim is one of our internal wholesalers, or external wholesalers, I should say, over at SILAC. Helps out with a lot of the case design, putting on these webinars and stuff. So with that, Tim, I'm going to hand it on over to you.
Perfect. Thanks, Laura. Thank you, everybody. It's always a pleasure to do webinars for Ims and Laura. I think this is an awesome opportunity for everybody on this call, and such an awesome agency to work with. So, again, thank you for this opportunity today. And we're going to go ahead and get started to stay on track here, because we do have a really cool giveaway for everybody that attended the call today. So what I first want to do is I just want to kind of give everybody really just a brief history of, who SILAC is. I always feel that, you probably should know who you're going to be doing business with, and that could, really strengthen that relationship. So SILAC, we can actually trace our roots back all the way back to 1935, believe it or not. So when was 1935? Well, yeah, it was 1935, but to put that kind of in perspective of how long ago that was the same year Babe Ruth hit his last home run. So quite a while ago, right? But then if we fast forward up to 2017, this is when the magic started to happen. We were acquired by our parent company called SILAC, which is just, our name as well. And we shifted our focus. And our focus is now geared towards asset accumulation products. So like our MYGAs, our indexed annuities, things like that. So our focus shifted, and we said, hey, we're going to stop what we're doing in the past, and we're going to focus on the future of asset accumulation. Very next year in 2018, we introduced a MYGA. And one of the big things, you're going to hear a lot of key points, but 2 key points that I'm going to say throughout this presentation is consistency and transparency. We want to be a very consistent player, and we want to be a very transparent player. And when we launched our first MIGA series, in order to be a consistent player, we wanted to prove ourselves. And we said, hey, you know what? We're going to offer this rate. And we kept a 4% compounding rate for over 11 months. Pretty big deal, right? And then in 2019, we launched our first FIA, Teton. And then in 2020, just last year, we launched another indexed annuity with a no-fee income rider, which we're going to talk about later in this webinar. We are growing. We've received 3 upgrades in the past 3 years by AM Best. This is a big, big deal because we are new to this industry, okay? We only started doing asset accumulation annuities since 2018, and we've already received 3 upgrades. Our current AM Best rating is actually a B+ with a positive outlook. We are growing not only from an annuity side to a premium side, but also financially strong as well. If you look at the bottom left corner of your screen, this is pretty cool. So according to Wink, which is kind of a big industry survey, they do an awesome job. Cheryl Moore runs that. She's awesome, phenomenal, and she looks at all these different carriers and says, hey, who's the best and where does everybody stand? And according to that survey and that study, SILAC, okay, get this, SILAC annuity, we were ranked the 5th best carrier for indexed annuity sales. And we only been doing this since 2019 on the indexed annuity side. So we have made a big, big splash in this industry with not only how cool our products are and their unique features, but I think a lot of it has to do with our consistent and transparent approach that we provide not only to our agents, but also your clients as well. So that's just a little bit about who we are. We really are growing, and I think it's awesome that we are able to show and prove that, because I always like to say, hey, the proof's in the pudding, right? So we do business in pretty much all 50 states. We aren't approved in a couple just yet. We are actively trying to get approved. If anybody's a New York Mets fan or a New York Yankees fan, sorry, we're probably not going to be in New York for quite a while. But we are actually working on 2 states. We're just not quite there yet. So a good majority of the United States, we are open for business, I would like to say, where our products are approved for solicitation and sale. Now, I first want to start off just by doing a really brief overview. Even though this webinar was really focused on our Teton and Denali, I didn't want anybody to forget about our Secure Savings and our Secure Savings Elite MIGAs. We have probably, if not the only one of the very few 2-year MIGAs out in the industry. Our MIGAs can actually be written up to age 90, and you can pick and choose based upon what platform you go if you want a full liquid product from Liquidity Features, or if you want a higher rate and you want to take Liquidity Features as a rate reduction. So a pretty cool feature and a pretty cool product setup. Let's take a look at just where these rates are, for example. So on our Secure Savings, 2 and 5 year, this is the one that has all the liquidity benefits built in. So you have your 5% free withdrawal, your interest only out, and your RMDs. All those free withdrawals are included on this contract. Yes, the rate is a little bit lower, and it does offer full account value at death. So 175 on the 2 year for the Secure Savings, 27 on the 5 year. Now, if you wanted a product that didn't have any liquidity, you said, hey, I'm rate shopping, my client doesn't need RMD or interest only out or anything like that, but maybe let's say they just want RMDs only out. Well, you can add those liquidity features for a rate reduction. Because of that, right, we're able to boost that rate. So a 2 year without any free withdrawals on it, we're at 2.15 and 2.95 on the 5 year for the Secure Savings Elite 2 and 5 year contract. Now, important thing to note on the Elite contract, it is cash value at death. So pay attention to where, in the age that you're writing these contracts, because the cash value is what we call the account value minus any withdrawal charges at the end. So basically, surrender charge value is what some people like to say in the industry for the Secure Savings Elite series. So pay close attention to it. We can get you more information on that if needed, but I think it's a really cool opportunity, especially having a 2 year contract right now in the MIGA space. Now, let's talk about Teton. Teton is was our first indexed annuity that we launched. And one of the big things that we like to look at when we build or we say, hey, what is our wish list? What do we like to do? Well, we want to throw in all these features, right? And say, hey, we want to create this awesome annuity. And then we later have to say, hey, we can't really do this, but we can do that. But more importantly, when we look at an annuity contract and we build it from the ground up, we want to make sure it's very clean and simple. And that's exactly what Teton is. There's two different versions of Teton on three different chassis, and we're going to go over that in just a minute. The two different versions, as you may have already guessed, or if you read ahead, we have a bonus and a non-bonus version. Okay, the 7-year, this is a big deal. We were seeing, studies within the industry where more and more people are tending to look at, a 7-year contract. With that being said, our 7-year contract, you can write up to a max age of 90. Okay, no, your eyes and ears are not playing tricks on you. 90. That is huge because normally in the indexed annuity space, you get past age 85 and there's hardly anybody left out there. We can go up to age 90 on our 7-year contract, whether it's the bonus or non-bonus version. But a cool thing that Teton has is it has a cumulative withdrawal feature, and this is pretty unique. So if a client, a client would normally have a 5% free withdrawal after the first year, okay, on Teton, and if the client didn't use or take a withdrawal from the contract at all, that free withdrawal accumulates, and it can cap out at 30%. And at the very end, we're going to see a case study of just how big of an impact that 30% cumulative withdrawal can play on a case. So again, it does have a cumulative withdrawal feature, very unique. So if a client does have a financial emergency and they didn't have or didn't take any withdrawals from the contract, they can certainly activate that withdrawal feature. Now here are the basics for 7, 10, and 14 for the bonus and non-bonus. As you see, our 7-year does go up to age 90. Age 85 is max issue age for the Teton 10 and 80 for the 14. Now, one thing to pay attention to is we do allow for additional premiums for the first 12 months. So, that's kind of a plus for us. Okay. So if you have a client that wants to add premium, that first 12 months is a hard cutoff line. But we do allow for it. We have an additional premium form on our website that you have to submit when you're doing additional premium. So don't forget about that additional premium form. Now, minimum premium is $10,000 to start our Teton contract, and our max premium is $1 million. Now, if any of you have any big hitters out there and they say, hey, I want to do $2 million with SILAC, can we do that? And our answer would be absolutely. Send us in a large case approval form first. We'll review it, make sure it looks good, and we'll get back to you. That process takes anywhere between 1 to 2 days, maybe 3 days at the most. So get us back that large, send us in that large case form. We'll get back to you. We do need that form before you submit that application. So again, all of that can be found on our website. We have a ton of materials on our website, so check that out later after this call. Now the exciting part. You said, hey, Tim, look, you got a product that goes up to age 90 on the 7-year. You got bonus, you got, non-bonus. What do your caps and rates look like, right? This is an annuity. I want to know what my caps and rates are. Well, check this out. Look at what we have here for the Teton, okay? On the Teton, 2% fixed rate. Now, again, these are rates currently, okay? Our rates are going to change, which will be updated on our website February 1st. So I'm sorry this is kind of late in the month, but I have to show you our current rates. So fixed rate, 2% on a 7-year contract that has a max issue age of age 90. Big deal, right? But take a look at this. How strong is that? A 4% annual point-to-point cap on a 7-year contract? That's a plus, right? And not only that, but at 2.25 on a monthly point-to-point with cap, and then our proprietary Atlas indexing strategy that is a global index, which has really phenomenal performance. We're at an 85 par rate on that, on the 7-year contract. But look all the way over on the 14, 2.5 on the fixed, 5.5 on the annual point-to-point with cap, and 2.75 on the monthly point-to-point, and 117% on the Atlas par rate. So again, strong accumulation opportunity, great product, but it gets even better. If we look at the non-bonus, or if we look at the bonus, I want to first point out that our 7-year contract on Teton, it does have an age band. So 0 to 80 is 5%, 81 to 90 is 2.5%. Pay attention to that on the Teton Bonus 7. But our 10 and 14, you have a full 7% bonus on a 10-year contract. And look at Teton Bonus 14. 10% bonus, but check this out. 175 on the fixed rate, a 4% annual point-to-point with cap for the S&P 500, a 2% monthly cap rate, and 85% par rate. So a lot of opportunity, great bonus product, great caps and rates, awesome accumulation potential, and don't forget about that cumulative withdrawal feature that Teton has on it. Now, I want to bring us up to just a case study real quick. We're going to look at just an example of the power of accumulation with Teton. So what I did was I just ran a simple illustration. Use age 60, right? Nothing big, $100,000. No withdrawals. This is simply just to show you the powerful performance of these caps and rates. So with that, we did the Teton 14. The monthly cap rate was 275. The monthly point-to-point cap rate was 275. And then we allocated into our awesome, tremendous Atlas strategy, which has a 117% par rate. Let's take a look at how this performed. On the top right of your screen, you're going to see the annual effective rate. You're going to see this on all of our illustrations. What is that rate? Well, that rate is simply just the average of the first 10 years based upon historical performance. Look at some of those interest credits. Year 13, that sticks out, right? It's almost 16%. You're like, oh my gosh, that's a big, big interest credit. I would love to go to my client with that type of interest credit. Well, that could happen. That could happen with Teton because of our caps and rates that are in this contract. So again, there's your annual effective rate, almost, it was 7.62 to be exact. Here's our historical backtesting performance on this contract. Let's take a look at what happened. We put in $100,000. 10 years from now, our contract grew to 208. Wow, that's a big deal, right? But look at what happens even further down the road. Remember, this is all about accumulation. All right, at age 80, we put in 100 in. Our client has almost $435,000, and at age 90, $904,000. So tremendous accumulation opportunity, and don't forget, remember, if the client doesn't take a withdrawal, that free withdrawal accumulates over the course of time, and it caps out at 30%. So they certainly have a good chunk of money that they can withdraw from the contract if needed later on for whatever means necessary. So pretty big deal. Teton, all about accumulation, strong accumulation. Let's go to Denali real quick. We're going to change gears. Denali was our most recent indexed annuity we brought to the market. It was brought to the market in August of 2020. We were unsure because of this was during the pandemic. We're like, all right, we're launching this product in the middle of a pandemic. How is that going to work, right? Well, let me tell you, I think everybody was very, very surprised how big of an impact this product created in our industry. Let's go over some key points on why this product did what it did and how it brought a lot of attention to SILAC because of these unique features. So it is an indexed annuity, but it's focused on accumulation and income at the exact same time. And we're going to look at that in just a minute. There is a 7, 10, and 14-year version. There's a non-bonus and non-bonus version. We have some really strong caps and rates, much higher, or I shouldn't say much higher, a little bit higher than Teton. All right, and you're going to see why those caps and rates are a little bit higher than Teton in just a minute. But the big difference between Teton and Denali is Denali has lifetime income with wellness withdrawals, all at no charge or no fees to the client. Yes, you heard me right. An income rider product that doesn't have a fee, and it has wellness withdrawals, which are ADL driven. Let's take a look at this. So Denali 7 and 7 bonus, max issue age 90. On Denali 10 and 10 bonus, max issue age 85. And Denali 14 and 14 bonus, max issue age is age 80. Now we do allow for additional premiums in the first 12 months on this contract, okay? I will say when you do add premium to these contracts, whether it's Teton or Denali, The money does go into the fixed account, and then it can be reallocated after the first contract year upon anniversary date. Same premiums, pretty much as you see on Teton. Max premium $1 million, minimum premium is $10,000. So pay close attention to that. But again, pretty strong product. And yes, one question that does come up, and I hope everybody's sitting down. A lot of people will say, "Hey Tim, does that wellness withdrawal benefit or income rider go up to max age 90?" And guess what the answer is? Yes, it does. So yes, your client can have an income rider and a wellness withdrawal benefit on Denali 7 all the way up to age 90. So big deal. I hope everybody was sitting down for that. But let's keep moving. So here are the current rates. Now we saw what Teton did, right? Look at Denali 7, and then we're going to look at Denali 14. 2.5 on the fixed rate. And this is a 7-year contract, okay? 2.5 on the fixed rate, a 5% annual point-to-point cap, and 105% participation rate on our Atlas strategy. Wow, okay? Now, let's look at the 14. If you're not quite awake yet, I think you are going to, be very surprised when you start seeing these caps and rates. 3% annual 3% fixed rate on Denali 14, almost 7%. The actual number is 6.75 on the S&P 500 annual point-to-point with cap. But look at this, a 3% cap rate on the monthly point-to-point and 140% on Atlas. Now, don't forget about this. We have a very unique crediting strategy called Boost. And the Boost strategy is available on Denali. If you look at Denali 14, the Boost strategy is at 1.75. And you might be thinking, Tim, what is the Boost strategy? How does it work? What is this? Well, all it does, and this is really cool. So the Boost strategy is just adding, okay, whatever that rate is, so 175, to the performance of the index. So for example, if the Atlas strategy performed at, let's say it was up 5% for the year, you simply add 175 to that so that the client would walk away with 675. But here's what's really cool about the Boost. Let's say the Atlas strategy was down 1%. For whatever reason, right? Market was terrible. Negative 1%, right? Zero is your hero in an indexed annuity. But with the Boost, all right, we have -1 plus a 175. Your client would walk away with 0.75% interest credit. So it can turn a small negative into a positive. So big deal. So take a look at the Boost strategy. I think it has awesome potential, and it can deliver some really great performance. If we want to diversify indexing selections, things like that. But strong opportunity with Atlas on Denali. Our Denali bonus. All of our bonuses are banded on the Denali bonus schedule. So just like Teton 7, 5%, 0 to 80, 2.5, 81 to 90 on the 7-year contract. Our bonus does start off at 7% on the Denali bonus 10 from 0 to 75, and it dips down to 5% at 76 to 85. And on the 14, 0 to 70 is that nice, beautiful 10% bonus, but it does drop down to 5% from 71 to 80. Now, even though these contracts have bonuses in them, these rates, are still, in my opinion, pretty impressive. Look at that, 2.25 on a product that you could receive a 10% bonus with 105% par rate. So again, whether you need a bonus or not, we wanted to make sure we offer that flexibility or that option for you and your client. So whatever it may be, take a look at that. Some really cool accumulation on that, whether you want the big bonus up front or you want those higher caps and rates over the course of time. We have the solution for you.
Hey, Tim, real
Now
quick,
we
had one quick question that came in on Denali. They were asking about the doubler and if it's just for facility care or if it's, if you want to maybe go into what it all covers for that doubler.
Yeah, no, we can certainly do that. Let's touch base on that wellness withdrawal benefit right now. So the wellness withdrawal benefit is what we would consider what some people like to call an income doubler if it's a single payout. It's 1.5 times on a joint payout, okay? The enhanced income will pay out for a maximum of 5 years. It is strictly ADL driven, all right? So if a client cannot perform 2 out of the 6 activities of daily living, they can qualify for that enhanced income or the wellness withdrawal benefit, and it will pay out for a maximum of 5 years. After 5 years is up, the income will revert back to the original lifetime income figure that was started and continue to pay out for the rest of the client's life. They do not need to be confined to a facility. Again, it is strictly ADL driven. One question that gets asked all the time, what about cognitive impairment? The answer is no, it's strictly ADL driven.
One other thing, there's two other questions that have come in the time, and I know we're not really going to go into commissions, but just they were asking about trail commissions, if that's going to be, if I know it's not an option right now, but is that something that SILAC's looking at adding to their portfolio?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We do have conversations about that at this time. We do not have trail commissions. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but I can tell you that we are having conversations about that. It's just to answer your question right now, no, we do not, but we are talking.
A couple others just before we go into the case studies. Someone asked about New Jersey. I know New Jersey is kind of a special one. Can you touch on why it's not yet approved in New Jersey? Or I can do
that. New Jersey, oh man, we get asked every day about New Jersey. New Jersey would be awesome. New Jersey, so really what it comes down to is when we were reacquired. So we have to be acquired for a certain length of time and filed with that state for a certain amount of time before they will allow us to be an approved carrier in that state, which would then allow our products to be filed and approved. So it basically comes down to how new we are in the marketplace.
Yep, and from what I understood, it's a 5-year wait, and I think we're on we're year 3 now, so we're getting closer.
Yep.
So, and then the last question someone had is talking about how the bonuses are applied. I didn't know if you were going to go into that at all, but kind of questioning about the bonus and kind of the recapture on it or whatnot.
Yeah, so the bonuses are applied all up front. They are full bonus upon death. So if the client, for whatever reason, took out a Denali Bonus 14, right, and received that 10% bonus, and something happened and they passed a year from now, the beneficiaries would have the account value plus that 10% bonus, whatever it may be. Okay, so that's full. Really, recapture of bonus really only comes into play in the form of exceeding any type of free liquidity feature or surrendering the contract early. Hey, Laura, are you there?
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted. No, the only other thing someone asked was about New York, and unfortunately the products are not approved in New York and don't see that happening, correct?
That is correct. Until we get that is correct.
Perfect.
So,
I'll let you continue. That was all the questions so far.
Perfect. No, if any other questions come up, please let me know. Always happy to take questions. So, but let's talk about Denali though, and let's look at a case study. So we know Denali has a bonus and non-bonus version, but really Denali is designed not only for accumulation, but also that lifetime income feature. So in this example, we're going to take a 60-year-old client. We're going to put in $100,000, and we're just going to do a simple illustration. Probably, many of you run on a day-to-day basis by calling Laura or calling your marketer at Ims saying, hey, I want to defer income for 10 years. Well, you're going to see something unique in Denali because Denali doesn't have a fee, and everything is driven off of the accumulation factor of the annuity. So this is how we're going to allocate it. We're going to allocate it into the monthly point-to-point and also into our Atlas strategy, which has a 140% par rate. Let's take a look. So again, we have that annual effective rate, almost 9%. And I want to mention one thing before we move on. You might be saying, Tim, you showed almost 7.7% on Teton. Now you're showing almost 9% on Denali. What's going on? Well, here's what I can tell you. On our first round of actual credits that our Teton policy received, okay, at the current participation rate that those policies had on Atlas, the client would have received over a 9% interest credit. So is this real? Absolutely. We saw that on our first round of policies. So again, we can't, guarantee market performance, but because of that participation rate and the caps and rates, absolutely the client could be seeing these types of returns. So again, the annual effective rate is just the average of the first, 10 years of this contract. And with this contract, this is important to note, all right? Most income annuities, they have, a number of different columns, right? They have, here's your client's account value, here's your income value, here's this value, which one do I look like? And it's like, it's confusing. Well, what we did is we linked everything into the account value. So we put in $100,000 based upon our indexing strategy, which we showed before, and the historical performance. Our 100,000 grew to almost 230. Everything is driven off of the account value. The account value is also your income value. Okay, your income value is also your account value. All right, so it's real money. It's the client's real money all the time that's going to work. All right, if we apply the payout factor, so how do you determine lifetime income? It's the client's payout factor or payout percentage, okay, based upon whether it's joint or single income, based upon their age, multiplied by the account value. That's simple, all right? Whatever the account value is multiplied by the payout percentage, that's simple. So in this example, we deferred income for 10 years. Our account value was $229,368. We multiply that by the payout percentage, the client would receive a lifetime income of $12,615. Now, the story gets better though with Denali. In our industry, we not only have this wellness withdrawal benefit, and I kind of jumped ahead, but if the client couldn't perform, again, 2 out of 6 ADLs, yes, the income could double, and it would last for 5 years since this is a single payout. All right? But in our industry, going back to this, we've heard a lot of talk about step up. Hey, this contract can step up, this contract can grow. Well, with Denali, step up is real because we don't have fees and we have awesome growth potential. So when that happens, and what is step up? Well, step up is when the account value is growing after we're taking out withdrawals. So this actually happens in Denali. Look at that. We started income and we were receiving $12,615. The account value is growing because of those really strong performance in the indices selections that we made. The account value is $243,551. You apply that same payout percentage, the client's new income that they are receiving, which is locked in, is $13,395. All right. So the client with Denali could be receiving not only growing account values, but growing income. That is a big deal if we're looking at a contract to maximize performance for a client. But take a look at this. We withdrew income from this contract ever since we started at end of year 10, so beginning of year 11. All right, and we only put in $100,000 in. This illustration is saying, hey, your client would have $380,000 left in their contract, and we withdrew $342,000. So that means we essentially had almost a 7.5 times multiplier off of the original $100,000 we put in this contract. Pretty strong story. So again, if you have more questions, want to see an illustration, call your marketer at Ims, call Laura. This contract is really, really strong, and I would encourage everybody to look at this and show a client this Denali contract. It is a big, big deal in hitting the industry with great impact. Now, here's my last illustration. I want to just show you guys something simple that we really need to think outside the box, because our Teton and Denali contracts work great together if we're trying to accomplish two different things. So Teton obviously has that cumulative withdrawal feature. Denali has income. You're going to run across clients that say, hey, I want lifetime income, but I also may have miscellaneous liquidity needs. What product's going to be best for me? So you're going to call Laura and say, hey, which one's best, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to think outside the box. We're going to say, hey, we can split these funds up. We can use Teton because of the cumulative withdrawals, and we can use Denali for lifetime withdrawals. Let's take a look at how that would perform. So if we put $250 in Teton, using that awesome accumulation story, you grow to $398, it's almost $400,000. And guess what? If this client needed liquidity, remember, since they didn't take any free withdrawals from that contract and it accumulated to 30%, they could take out almost $120,000. Wow, right? But look at Denali. We put $250 in Denali, and if the client wanted to turn on income in 5 years, it'd be about $21,000 $21,000. Let's say he wanted to wait, or she wanted to wait till 10 years from now, $32,000. And let's say they really wanted to wait, right, all the way out to age 80, $90,000. So again, really think outside the box, because sometimes one annuity contract may not fit all of your clients' needs, but writing two of them, which is just a little bit, extra work and maybe an extra application, will really fit all of your clients' needs and truly deliver, that contract and the performance that they're looking for with liquidity or income or whatever it may be. Now, with that, our Atlas strategy, I mentioned it before, it is a global index. We say it can be at the right place at the right time. These are different markets that it plays in. It can rebalance daily. Again, there's no fee for it. It does a tremendous job. So it can not only play in the U.S. Economy, it can play in the German economy, the European economy, all the way to emerging markets, and then it relies on bonds as its volatility component. We have some really cool strategies on that information on Atlas on our website. But again, there's no fees for it. It does have consistent renewals. It can't be illustrated in all states. Take a screenshot, go to that website at the bottom of your screen if you want to learn more and see where the Atlas strategy is actually at today. And with that, I'm going to follow up. We do have a number of different sales pieces, but the big giveaway today is this annual review packet. Laura mentioned it earlier. We developed a very slick annual review packet. We thought, hey, how can we help our producers write more business, but more importantly, write more business with SILAC, but also deliver annual reviews with their SILAC consumers. So we have a unique annual review packet that goes through the ins and outs of going over your client's goals, going over your client's financial objectives, going over a quick intake of where their money's actually at. Maybe you might uncover an asset that they didn't tell you about before, all right, which could create more opportunity. It's a pretty slick piece. It's all PDF fillable. So if you're unfamiliar with annual reviews, you just started, or you are familiar with annual reviews and you want to look at what we have and if it can be added to what you do, awesome. If you're not sure what to say, what to do, we also have an agent cheat sheet. We have sample scripts. I always like, telling my clients stories, things like that. They kind of give them a little chuckle. But, going over the process of how we thought the best way to conduct an annual review would be to create a successful opportunity for the producers out there that are writing SILAC business. So with that, Laura, I know I sped up at the very end because I was running short on time, but I will turn it back over to you and answer any questions we have.
Perfect. I appreciate that, Tim. So we did have a couple more questions that did come in, but one thing I will mention to everyone on this is that following the webinar today, I will have my assistant, Alex, send each of you an email with the policy review kit and the things we just discussed there. I'll also have him include the current rate sheet or the new rate sheet. Like Tim mentioned, they are doing a little bit of a rate decrease, not too bad, of not much movement, but just so you guys have the most current up-to-date rates, we'll be able to illustrate those new rates next week. And then if you do have any cases you're working on, you can respond back to Alex's email, request an illustration. He'd be happy to get that out to you. But we'll be following up with you all individually as well to get any additional questions answered. But one that did come in, someone asked about after the 7, 10, or 14-year surrender period, can a client take more than 5% out? And I can go ahead and answer that one. Once after the surrender period, it is all free of surrender charges, MVA, and everything. So technically the client can get all the money out if they needed to, or as much as they'd like on that. Let me see. Someone else said, must the income feature defer for 10 years? You want to touch on that, on how long deferral they need to wait before they can turn on income, Tim?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a 1-year wait before a client can turn on income on the Denali contract, and then there's a 2-year wait to activate what we would call the wellness withdrawal or the enhanced income feature on Denali.
Perfect. Let's see if there's any others out here.
I do want to add, just one thing, Laura, just real quick. On Denali, there's no maximum roll-up terms. There's no, roll-up feature. It's strictly driven off of the performance of the contract. So if the client wants to wait 5 years before they turn on income, they can wait 5 years. If they want to wait 20 years, they can wait 20 years. If they never want to turn it on, they never turn it on. And also with Denali, you can start and stop income. So if you want to, see an illustration on how that works, it does allow you to start income, let's say deferring it for 5 years, stopping it for, at year 10, and then starting it back up in years 20 plus. So that is a unique feature in the income rider space with starting and stopping income.
One thing I will add on that too, as you mentioned with Denali being, it's a unique kind of income rider due to the fact that, it's account value. But what is really cool about it is how many people, I mean, if you look at the industry, over the last 15 years since income riders have been around, or 10 years or so, there's a statistic I saw that about 80% of clients who have an income rider haven't activated the income. And I think that's really important, is because we got a lot of clients out there who are paying fees for something they may not need. So Denali is a great option for those clients who say, I might need income, but it's not my number one goal, but it might be nice to have down the way. The fact that you aren't paying an annual fee on Denali is a huge factor. There's not many of them out in the industry that are like that and have the rates that Denali has. Because if you look at income rider products versus accumulation, usually they're way off. You're not looking for accumulation as much. You're looking for that guaranteed income. With the SILAC Denali, you really have the option to have strong accumulation and that free income option. So it's a really unique product. One other question that came in is why only 5% instead of 10% free withdrawals? You want to touch on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it comes down to pricing. So we looked at, 10% is nice, but 10% does cost. And when I say it does cost, that means it has to come from somewhere, whether that be agent commission or the caps and rates delivered to the client. So we said, hey, what is the happy median? And what do we see from, in industry of how many people are actually taking a 10% free withdrawal? So what our product development team did, which I think they did a tremendous job, is they said, hey, we're not going to do 10%, but we are going to do 5%. And when we can do 5%, check out this commission we can create for the agents, but also check out these caps and rates we can do for the client. And when it comes down to Denali, right? On Denali, we're able to deliver that lifetime income rider without a fee, with carrying higher caps and rates, with carrying a bonus, with carrying a strong commission. And so when you think of designing an annuity, think of a switchboard with all these levers that go up and down. When you pull one down, one has to go up. And we found that the 5%, our product development team said, hey, 5% is that happy median, and we can accomplish exactly what we feel the industry wants to see in terms of a product.
Perfect. With that, I don't see any other questions. So, like I said, you all can expect an email from Alex Gayton in my office today following the webinar. It'll include all that policy review stuff that Tim showed, as well as the current rate sheets. And like I said, if you have further questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. I'll be in the office all day today, all day tomorrow. If I'm on the phone, any other person on my team would be happy to help you as well, looking at some different case designs and things like that as well. So, with that, I appreciate everyone taking time out of their day and hope you have a good rest of your day. And thanks, Tim.
Perfect. Thank you, Laura. You take care. Thank you, everybody.